Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes radio talk show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your hosts, Consuelo Mackey, co-host U.S. Air Force veteran Matt Davidson, announcers Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi, U.S. Army veteran and entertainment host Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran and I Once Was Whole segment host Richard Cook, U.S. Army veteran and Lifeline for Women's Veterans segment host Martha Elena Varela, National Faith Program Director and Veterans in Recovery segment host Anthony Akimpora, and U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarceration to Success segment host Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Okay, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Americans Invisible Heroes, a show dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuelo Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those who are disabled and experiencing homelessness. For those of you who are new to the show, American Invisible Heroes was established to provide a platform for our veterans to be able to share their experiences, heartfelt stories, resources, challenges, and accomplishments. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our wonderful co-hosts. Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army Reserve veteran, board member. Taylor Marcella, board member and an announcer. Brooke Gadesi, board member and also an announcer. U.S. Army veteran Martha Varela. She's on our advisory board, has a weekly segment called Lifeline to Women Veterans. Lauren Hammond, she has a weekly segment called Creative Charities Auction, and I'm so happy to say she's one of Operation Confidence's sponsors. And Montague, she has a bi-weekly segment, and that's called the Rosie's Movement. We have Teresa Tongs, they come on once a month, and she's an outreach specialist for the California Telephone Access Program. And then later on in the show, we'll have Dr. Cash. She's a U.S. Army veteran. She has a monthly show called Strategies for Hope. And today we're happy to have U.S. Green Elmer Jacobs Jr. He's president of Paralyzed Veterans of America, California chapter. Welcome, everybody. I didn't forget anybody this time, did I?
Did you introduce Kendra and Teresa Gasper?
Teresa's going to introduce Kendra, and you're going to introduce.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Right. So here we go. Take it away, Martha.
Okay. Can medicine help veterans with PTSD? Research shows that veterans are at an increased risk of mental illness such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression as a result of deployment and combat. To treat it, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs National Center for PTSD, NCPTSD, you know how the
you're chopping up a little bit. You have an internet problem?
No. This is, I have this.
It's choppy.
It's choppy.
Plug my headphones in.
You gotta go find a different spot in the house.
Yeah.
Is it too you can't
now
hear
you
me?
Sound good.
Okay. So back to the article about trauma. The VA recommends trauma-focused psychotherapies, including prolonged exposure, cognitive processing therapy, and eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. Medication is also used to treat symptoms of mental illness, but those therapies focus on the trauma, which veterans may want to avoid. The stigma of traditional psychotherapy approaches might also detour veterans from seeking help, as one study published in March of 2016 in the, let's see here, I just lost it. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm moving in a different part of the house today. You guys will have to excuse me. And my internet going nuts though.
We all understand.
So the article that this information is coming from is called The Annals of Behavioral Medicine that was published in March of 2018. The field of psychology is really pushing cognitive and behavioral psychotherapies that involve talking and thinking about what happened, as well as challenging maladaptive thought processes, says Brett Moore, PhD, chair of the Boulder Crest Institute for Post-Traumatic Growth, says, as well as a former active Army psychologist. Okay, so Brett Moore is also
Uh-oh, we're breaking up again.
Okay, let's try this. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Morris says that his field should focus on non-traditional interventions like meditation that are easy to engage in the outside of a therapy room and avoid placing the veteran in the patient or sick role that is often associated with traditional treatments for PTSD. And research finds a benefit to this approach. In a study published in December of 2018 in the Lancet Psychiatry, researchers found that meditation worked as well as exposure therapy to ameliorate symptoms of PTSD in veterans. Here's what the research has to say on how meditation may also help veterans manage PTSD. Different forms of meditation are being studied in veterans. Meditation is a technique or set of techniques that can help a person to focus their mind and bring it back to the present moment. According to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, it's been shown to help alleviate a number of health issues, from depression and anxiety to menopausal symptoms and even high blood pressure. There's another form called compassion meditation, which involves a repetition of phrases designed to increase empathy and compassion toward others. One common phrase used in this practice is, "May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering." Once you feel you have internalized the message, you can then move on to wishing the same positive thoughts to others, family members, friends, and even strangers. Another form is called transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation, or TM, is a form of meditation in which a person silently repeats a given sound, word, or short phrase in their mind for a set period of time in order to focus the mind and bring about a state of peace and relaxation. This word or sound is known as a mantra, and it doesn't need to have any meaning at all. It's only important insofar as it helps you to focus your mind on the sound of the mantra. Mantra meditation, luckily for those who don't want to spend hundreds of dollars learning transcendental meditation, can simply be aware and mindful of the present moment, allowing thoughts to come and go without judgment or reaction. There's a particular emphasis on deep breathing, which may help to ease the symptoms of anxiety and depression, according to one study published in June of 2015 in the Applied Psychosociology and Biofeedback publication. So where can veterans go for help with PTSD? If you or someone you know is a veteran living with PTSD and wants to help to manage the condition, there are a number of websites and resources you can use for help. The NCPTSD website lists a number of ways to get help with PTSD, including information on finding a therapist and managing stress through self-help. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, or the VA, has an extremely comprehensive webpage devoted to mindful awareness, featuring quick breathing awareness activities and exercise, and plenty of studies on the effectiveness on the practice. Through the VA, you can also download Mindfulness Coach, a free app designed to help veterans practice mindfulness through a gradual and self-guided training program. It's available on the App Store, so wherever you have Google Play or any of the smartphones, you can look that app up in the app, where you go on your phone to look up apps. So there's also the Veterans Yoga Project, which contains information and downloadable audio files with themes such as breathing, meditation, mindful movement, guided rest, and gratitude. It's a great resource for those looking to start experimenting with different styles of meditation. There's also, through the West LA VA, free yoga and free meditation resources right here locally in the LA area. So if you get a chance to go, you can sign up to their email list and they will send you, I know it's COVID, but prior to COVID, there were some free activities that they would have in the Rose Garden. So it's a good idea to kind of just be aware of some of these free activities that are coming down the pipe. And then last but not least, there's also iRest, which is a nonprofit organization devoted to bringing yoga nidra to veterans. Yoga nidra is specifically designed to relax both the body and the mind together. And with a major focus on mindfulness, it has more in common with meditation than the other fast types of meditation. So it's kind of connecting the stretching and the yoga kind of in one, which is a little different. So that's that therapy or that type of yoga. Last but not least, I wanted to let everyone know that there is a training, or if there's any veterans that are interested in getting trained to deliver yoga, the I know I'm going to murder it again, the transcendental meditation, or TM. There is a free resource where we can find any veterans who are interested in signing up to learn how to become an actual meditation. Well, I guess someone to teach you to learn meditation. If you're a veteran, there is a foundation right now, and I'm trying to figure out where we can get an actual referral. But the David Lynch Foundation is going to offer 500 veterans. They're going to offer a study for 500 veterans to learn more about the effects of meditation with veterans who have PTSD. So 9 VA hospitals and research universities, so probably a combination of both, I'm assuming here as it reads. There's some federal funding that's available. So it looks like 500,000 veterans with PTSD are going to learn this TM for free. So it's one of those tongue twisters. So if you are a veteran, know of anyone who would like to learn the practice. I am actually interested in being one of those veterans who wants to learn the practice, because I've been really, and again, I just want to make this clarification that just because you went to combat, or if you didn't go to combat, doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't experience traumatic events in the military, right? It's for some of us, we know that basic training, boot camp, and AIT alone could have been the start of, a series of traumatic events that you might have experienced. So I just wanted to make that clarification that, some women are traumatized, unfortunately, right away, and men too, not just women, but men and women can experience the trauma upon entrance into the military. So it doesn't matter necessarily if you've had combat or not in order to be eligible for these services. So I'll keep you guys posted, because it's definitely something that I think will help.
And you're going to be able to hold something like that on our show as well. So we're kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
Once you learn.
And then last but not least, I want to bring on, I think some of you may have remembered when we were still connected with the LA Talk Radio, one of the Marine veterans who's a personal friend of mine from my grad school program, Sylvia.
Right.
who came on board to help. No, not Sylvia. Why did I call her Sylvia? I'm like
I remember when she came on, though. Very
Yeah.
sweet. Las Vegas,
So-
right?
Yeah, from Las Vegas. So I'm going to
Right.
have her come back and talk this time a little bit more specifically about what her practice does. So she's focusing all of her energy on helping people heal, veterans
Right.
and non-veterans alike. But, you know, in this crazy world we live in now, especially post-COVID, you know, these are all things that we can incorporate into our day-to-day, whether we've been officially diagnosed with PTSD or not. It doesn't really matter. You know, things, stress relief, breathing techniques, meditation. I know me personally, I've been listening to some meditation music at night to help me sleep. And I'm starting to notice a lot of benefits. So I'm really excited about this. I wanted to share that information. Great article, Connie, on helping us kind of learn a little bit about the different types of meditation. Like I said, there's very simple mantra meditation where you're just kind of, you know, the self-talk incorporation to make sure that you're, you know, heading out the door with all the tools that you need to, you know, be successful on your day-to-day, or all the way up until therapy, where for people who have unfortunately, you know, experienced the worst of the PTSD that do need more of the, you know, cognitive processing therapy. Or
well, you're going to come back with more.
yeah.
So I really thank you for that. Was
No,
so
that's good stuff. You know, we encourage that for people with spinal cord injury over at Rancho. We do a lot of research, and we do questionnaires, and you know, the breathing, and you know,
Right.
for a lot for pain too as well. You know, people
Yeah.
have pain, and so
Yeah.
you know, it actually helps people. You know, so good stuff.
Well, stay
Okay.
posted.
A quick question, Martha. What
Sure.
is AIT? What does that mean?
So you're advanced in individual training. So when you first come in the military, you go to boot camp, and boot camp's about what, a month and a half, 6 weeks or so, to
8
really
weeks.
immerse you into the
8
military. But then after, you know, your 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to your individual stations where you're actually learning your job. So whether you're in the medical field, or you're driving trucks, or you're, you know, learning how to fly planes, then you go to your next part of your training, which is the AIT. I don't even know, do they call that anymore? That's just aging myself. We used to call it the AIT.
That's what it was called when I was there.
So, but
Okay,
good
well,
question,
thank you.
Ann. Good question.
Moving right along, Brooke. You there, girl? I know you have to leave soon.
I do. I just couldn't find my mute button. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Paws of War takes therapy dogs to nursing homes. Dogs can often brighten the day of anyone, providing them with companionship, laughs, and giving them a reason to smile. The senior who are residents at assisted living facilities are all smiles because of Paws of War organization, who stop by with 7 therapy dogs to visit with the residents each week, many of whom are veterans and retired police officers. This is a real treat for the residents, say Joanne Contigiacomo, that's the name, sorry I butchered it, director of the dog therapy program at Paws of War. Many of these heroes who have visited are humble, yet have saved many lives. We want them to know that their courage and valor has not been forgotten. Paws of War is an organization that focuses on serving veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. Some of the seniors that the therapy dogs visit are suffering from such conditions as dementia, while others are in good health. Numerous of the veterans that have visited have been awarded Purple Hearts. Everyone typically gets something beneficial from the time they spend with the dogs. Paws of War is also partnering with the Fraternal Order of Police, New York Lodge 911, to provide this beneficial service to the assisted living community. Another great organization is Paws with a Cause. Oh, let me give you the contact information for Paws with a Cause. Paws at pawswithacause.org. Their phone number is 616-877-7297, and that is the national headquarters, Paws at pawswithacause.org.
Can you repeat the phone number again?
Sure. It is 616-877-7297.
And they're open from 8 to what?
They're open from 8 to 4:30. That is Eastern time, Monday through Friday. So they're 3 hours later than us on the West Coast.
Right.
Another great organization is Pause with the Cause, that enhances the independence and quality of life for people with disabilities nationally through a custom trained assistance dogs. Pause increases awareness of the rights and roles of assistance dog teams through education and advocacy. Pause with the Cause enhances the independence and quality of life for people with disabilities nationally through custom trained assistance dogs. Pause increases awareness of the rights and roles of assistance dog teams through education and advocacy. Through the years, Pause has added additional assistance dog programs. Pause now trains service dogs for people with physical disabilities, seizure response dogs for people who have epilepsy, hearing dogs for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, and service dogs for children with autism. For more information, visit their website, pausewithcauses.org, or call 616-877-7297.
Can you repeat that website again and the phone number?
It is www.pausewithcauses.org, and that number 616-877-7297.
All right. Good information.
I have a resource for a local, Patriots and Paws, who
Ooh,
also give out
awesome.
service dogs. Yep. So they're located in Anaheim. And the other thing is, it's weird, but they also give out service dogs, but even better, they give away free furniture and household items. I know it kind of doesn't go together with, but it's Patriots and Paws. So it's a 2-for-1 if you need a dog and you need some furniture, household items. They're local in Anaheim, and their phone number is 714-323-7229. Patriots and Paws, and I have actually been there personally, taking some veterans there as well. Their organization is patriotsandpaws.org, and it's a really easy referral process. I must have referred already about 6 vets and gone with them, because it can be pretty overwhelming of an experience moving in. So I
Make sure
will
we post that on our resource page. Both of
Okay.
those numbers.
All
That's
right,
great.
got it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Take it away, my little angel down there. That's my Taylor baby girl. She's so quiet today.
Hi. So I will be introducing Teresa Tong and co-partner Kendra Palucha Ayala. Teresa is an outreach specialist and has been with the California Phones program for over 20 years. She hails from the island of Hawaii and calls California her home. Helping others has been her source of encouragement and longevity in this field. Prior to COVID, you would find her out in the field at senior facilities and health and cultural fairs in the community. Even though most of her work is done virtually right now, she looks forward to the day when she can meet people face to face again. She is excited to be with us today. Kendra is a field operations specialist too, out of Santa Barbara. On any given day, you may find her at a service center, at a health fair, or helping a customer set up their phone. She has worked for CTAP since 2012 and enjoys the variety in her job that allows her to drive or video chat around Southern California, meeting new people and helping them gain better communications. Take it away.
Hey, take it away, Teresa.
Hi, I think we can all agree that, when we experience poor sound quality over the phone or normal responses, I'll call you back later, or let's talk later when, we have a better connection. But can you think of anyone in your circle of family or friends? Maybe this is a normal occurrence for them. So if you live in California, we have a state program that is funded by us taxpayers, and we provide free specialized telephones and accessories that can help with the hearing, vision, mobility, speech, and memory. We do have a link for other states that have similar programs to ours, so we can put that in the chat later on or share that. But just kind of want to go over really briefly in the essence of time. I'm going to go over our slides really quickly. I'm going to share my screen. All I have to. Okay. So we are a state program and we're funded by a surcharge on the phone bill. We got our start when a group of deaf and hard of hearing activists went to Sacramento. They lobbied, they said we want equal access to communication. So that's how we got our start. And we started with a TTY telephone, which I'll show you later. But we expanded our program currently to include the the seeing, moving, speaking, and learning and remembering as well. And of course, the surcharge that I mentioned, everyone's paying on your phone bill is called California Relay Service and Communication Devices Fund. So our goal, of course, is to get our equipment to the hands of those that can benefit from all of our different telephones and also services. There's no age, income, or insurance requirement. So even little children, if they have a need, there's a lot of children with autistic needs. And so we want to broaden your thinking that it's not just seniors.
Right.
And of course, all these different categories, there's different levels. So you don't have to be deaf. Maybe you just can't hear different tones. Maybe you're not blind, but you're wearing reading glasses. So there's different levels. My moving could be, my mom had arthritis. So she would fall under that category as well. So there's that TTY that I mentioned for the deaf. And if you don't have this piece of equipment, you would have to go through an operator called a relay operator. Who's in between. So if, for example, if you look at the 3 circles at the top, I would be the one with the no TTY. I would call the operator, and the operator would, whatever I say, she would be typing it in. So my friend on the far right would be reading it. He'll type back a response and she's going to verbalize that to me. So this is accessible by dialing 711. We do have it in English and Spanish, which is available 24/7. So another service available from 711 is for people with speech challenges. So the operator can repeat whatever is being said to the other party. So CP, Parkinson's, they're using an artificial larynx. This is all covered. A lot of our equipment that we have covers it crosses different categories. So if you see this one here, it can increase the outgoing volume, but it also increases incoming volume. And it's got the large buttons, so someone with visual challenges can also benefit from this. Or if they have arthritis in their fingers, they can dial easier. We have this phone here for the hard of hearing. And it's, again, you can see it crosses over several categories. So it's got the loud volume, the tone control, speaker phone, speed dialing. So it has the flashing light when the phone rings. So a lot of our phones have these capabilities. Another thing is what we call the talkback, which is good. So it repeats numbers back to you as you're dialing them. You see here the large buttons. This one has Braille, also for the blind, contrasting colors, and again, the lighted keypads. So every person can qualify to get a telephone and an accessory. So for example, a household of 5 people can get 10 pieces of equipment from us. So this one here is for mobility, but again, it has everything, the loud volume, the tone control, the speaker phone. It's basic. So we have the talk button for on, talk for off. But we also have a more complicated one, which is the Panasonic, which everyone likes. So it does have the on and off button, which are separate. So depending on the needs of the individual, we make that assessment, and also what they would like. We ask them, do you want something with an answer machine? Do you want something very basic? We also have remote operation phones. So a quadriplegic can also use that piece of equipment. So it has a pillow switch for the head. So if they're bedridden, they can use their head. A stick switch, they can use different parts of their body to activate the phone. A pedal switch. So we have a lot of different equipment and accessories. This one here is for memory. So you see the different photos here. So whatever memory, trigger works for the person using the equipment, they can get this. But it also has volume control. So if someone has both, they can benefit from that as well. If someone has severe hearing loss, this one will not work, but we can give them a photo dialer as an accessory to pair with another phone with loud volume. So we have a Bluetooth accessory. So these two are for loud amplification. The top one, you'd have to either pair it with your hearing aids through Bluetooth or use the earbuds. And the bottom one is a standalone, which is one of the most popular ones. It has a tone control, volume control. You could put it on speaker. So especially someone is in Costco, right? And they're trying to find their family, they can use this device. Or maybe they're waiting for dial-a-ride. Or maybe you're calling the doctor and you want the family members to hear what's going on too. So you could put it on speaker mode so everyone can hear the conversation. We have a Panasonic phone that's also Bluetooth compatible. So I can show that to you later if there's time after this. So in terms of applying for our program here, we have 3 requirements: that you live in California, you have either landline or cell phone service, and you have one of the 5 difficulties that I mentioned. So you fill out the form, sign on the highlighted section here. Next step is to bring it to a certifying agent. And this is a list of all the different certifying agents. So it could be a primary doctor, eye doctor, ear doctor. So they sign the form, and this is what their section looks like. So they would check off for hearing, is it mild, moderate, severe. This actually helps us to make a better assessment when they either come in to see us or we talk to them over the phone. So once we get the application, we will either call them again, and then we can set up some of the different functions of the phone and then drop it off or ship it. Or Kendra is one of our field staff. She goes into the homes and she can make the assessment and also provide the equipment on the spot if they're comfortable with that. Otherwise, the applicant can just return the application to us, like I said, or they can come see us in person, which we do prefer. And these are all of our locations. We have part-time and full-time service centers. So we do recommend that people call us before coming in because, with COVID, sometimes with the fires, we've actually closed some of our centers. Someone may have an application from 10 years ago and the address is no longer valid because some of our centers have moved. So we do encourage that people call us first. Then Kendra is out of Santa Barbara and I'm here in Glendale right now.
Hey, you're going to turn it over to Kendra now, right?
Yes. Well, here's Kendra, do you want to go over this slide here?
Sure. So anytime you want more information about our program, our phone number is up. It's 1-800-806-1191. And our website is californiaphones.org. And we have multiple languages. So we have several languages on the screen. You can call directly, or you can always just request the language when you call. And our website as well, you can change the language. There's a toggle switch at the top. And I do want to explain just briefly, as Teresa mentioned, part of my job is I go to people's homes, whether they've had equipment for years and they just need some assistance, sometimes of something as simple as it gets unplugged and they go, it's not working. Then I plug it in and yay, it's working again. We are there always for our customers. So whether they've had the phone for 5 minutes or 25 years, we are there to assist people with knowing how to use the phone, knowing how to set it up, making sure it's working for their needs. And we go into people's homes if it's needed throughout the state. So no matter how far away somebody is from our office, how rural it is, I've driven like 4 hours one way, 4 hours back to go assist a customer. And and that's kind of fun. I get to see a lot of the state that way. But we really take the time to not only do I assess, but it's not just a list of questions and then here's your phone. It's, okay, I'm going to do an assessment. I'm going to help guide you. And we're going to see what works best for you in the environment you live in, how you use the phone, how you usually communicate, and what your needs are. So it's really, no matter if it's in the office, over the phone, or in person at their home, we do our best to make it an individualized experience and assist them to communicate for the rest of their lives to the people that they really need to communicate, whether it's assistance with their hearing, vision, speech, mobility, memory. So that's a really, sorry, I have a lingering cough. That's a really fun part of our jobs to assist people and see the difference that it makes.
Wow, that's so amazing what you guys are offering. So many people with disabilities, with all these different types of needs, are needing to communicate. And Teresa, we go back, huh, girlfriend, like what, 20 years, something like that. So I've been knowing what this organization has been doing a long time, and they've helped many people. So I really want to thank you. And you coming back on for sure, what, in about a month, just give us some more information?
Okay, sure.
Can you hear us?
Sure.
Well, I sure thank you. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, well, we got your contact information, and we're going to put that again on the website. And I thank you so much. You have no idea how many people are excited to have this information. Okay, yay! Thank you. We're going to move right along now. Lawrence, on you.
Hi, my name is Lauren Hammond, and my company is called Creative Charity Auctions. I raise money for charities and nonprofits, schools, religious organizations, and any other group that is looking to raise money. We have hundreds of items in our inventory, and we raise money by providing items and travel packages for their silent, live, and since the pandemic, online auctions. And I'm going to show you some of the items that we have, and we're constantly adding to it. And these are just a small amount of things that we have, but it's in different categories. So we have art, and we provide them, we gear what we bring to each event that we do. And I've been in this business for over 20 years. I had another company prior to Creative Charity Auctions, which was called Sport Things and More. And my partner at that time was Jay Johnstone, who's a former baseball player, and he played with many different teams. And he was a Marine and was very proud of the fact that he was. Unfortunately, he died of underlying issues with and then of COVID a couple of years ago. And but these are the kinds of things that Creative Charity Auctions provides. And we're open to help anyone, whether it's a silent auction, online, or a live event. Many times now people are putting items online, and we're doing an online for them, and then we're closing it the night of their live event. We'll work whichever is best for them. And we have just anything, we gear the items to the event that they're doing. So we gear it to if there's a theme, how many people are attending, the demographics and age range of the guests who will be attending, so that we can gear what we bring. Our whole goal is to raise as much as possible for them. On the military side, we obviously are working for Operation Confidence. We help Folds of Honor. We did one last week for the Wounded Warrior Project. And so we can help really any organization raise money by providing items. We help if they have donated items, we include them in there, and we don't charge for our services. And our whole goal is just to raise as much as possible. We're always open for questions. If they have questions about how to run it, what to do, we're more than happy to give them some advice. And that's our whole goal, is to raise as much as possible. So again, this is just a very small selection of what we have. If somebody wants to look at a lot more items, we have an online site that shows the kinds of things we have and what it would look like if all their information is on there. So again, we're there to help. My company again is Creative Charity Auctions. My email address is, or my website address is creativecharityauctions.com and creativecharityauctions.com. And our phone number is 818-425-2244 is my cell, but my office number, which is where I can be reached as well, 818-840-1200. And this is just a small selection. Some of these have been sold, and so we'll be replacing it, but we're constantly selling and adding. And if someone has special requests and we don't have it, I always then look for it for them, or we create a lot of our own items. And so we have something for everyone and in every price range. So please call if there's any questions. Again, my website, creativecharityauctions.com, and my office number, 818-840-1200. So thank you so much.
That was wonderful. Great. Thank you. I know you have to leave shortly. So
I will see you next week.
yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Right now, good stuff.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Great presentation too.
Thank you very much, Connie. Talk to you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Let's see now, Taylor. I know that Brooke is going to have to be leaving soon. She has another meeting, so we're going to have to change the script around a little bit. Brooke, can you introduce Ann Montague for me, please?
Absolutely. Rosies are the surviving women who worked on the home front for the war effort during World War II. We encourage people to find them, learn what they did, and get Americans to work with them now. Most of them are above 90 to do projects. Anne Montague is a Rosie's daughter. Some of her first memories are about the home front war effort, saving grease and taking it to the store to be used in the war effort, their large victory garden, and her mother going to work in the mornings feeling well, but coming back dizzy from inspecting lenses at what they called the war factory. Oh, I'm jumping around here, sorry. We encourage Americans to work with the Rosies to leave a lasting record of their legacy. Each Rosie is different and each story has the human touch. And when you put their stories together about what they did during the war, their legacy is more than one story. Thus, their legacy is to do today what they did in World War II, which is to pull together to do the highest quality work to keep and use our freedom. Most Rosies are deceased. We are on a marathon to find all the living Rosies and to get communities and the nation to find ways to work together to assure they are not forgotten.
Okay. So take it away, Anne.
Well, I want to show you something. Yeah, you're going to be surprised. You want to see June?
Yeah.
There's June.
We can see
Yeah.
June.
June Robbins is the Rosie on our line now. She was unable to come in by Zoom and she was unable to dial in. So she's on my telephone with the speaker turned up. And I'm hoping that she can hear you and you can hear her. It worked yesterday, so we'll try it. I do want to say, everybody, that we're kind of at a new place now. We are going to be working very likely with AARP to not only find our Rosies throughout this country, but they have a special program for veterans. So I'm hoping that we can make all this work together. The fact that you all have been so incredibly responsive to the Rosies, and Kathy, I just loved your I loved your love of the Rosies when we talked a couple 3 weeks ago. And all of you have been so good. Now, June is on the line. She's told her story several different times, but I'd like to basically let her talk to you about where she thinks we are now with the American Rosie movement, but she probably wants to start telling you a little bit about her history as a person who designed parts for ships in Philadelphia shipyards while her mother was riveting airplanes in the Philadelphia shipyards. So June, it's up to you now. Can you hear us?
I can hear you fine.
Good.
However, where do you want me to start?
Is
Just
that
part-
our little June that's been on before? Our little
Yes,
funny
it
girl?
is. Yes, it is. We had another Rosie scheduled for today, but she got ill and so June will always come to the rescue. So June
Hi,
to the rescue.
June. This is Consuela.
Hi, June.
I need to tell you first of all that on my door to my apartment, I have a saying. It says, "God put me on this earth to do a certain number of things. I'm so far behind, I will never die." But having said that, I am 95 now. I am falling apart by the seams. My eyesight is going, my arms, my legs, everything is going. But you know what? I've got a wonderful sense of humor that keeps me going. And I have a curiosity about everything, which I think takes me to age 95, and I'm aiming for 120. However, having said that, I will tell you that when I was in high school at age 17, that was in the, 1941, I believe. And the boys were leaving school by droves, joining the armed services. Some were being drafted, and my parents were being divorced. I had to move in with my mother, and we moved in one of my aunt's back rooms behind her beauty salon. And Mom and I slept on a twin bed together, and I knew that was just impossible. She was working at the Navy Yard on the aircraft side, doing just everything. Punch press, drill press, working in the war room. But she never told me what she was really doing. She was just mentioned casually approximately what she was doing that day, including the time that she climbed into the back of an airplane to work back in there and couldn't breathe, so she passed out. They pulled her out by her feet and gave her oxygen, and she went back to work right away, which is what we Rosies did. Nothing came to stop us. But I knew I had to get to work. I talked to a homeroom teacher who suggested that I talk to the school counselor. The school counselor told me, well, maybe next year you can take the secretarial course, or maybe you go to work for Gimbel Brothers as a sales clerk. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to do something for the war effort. I wanted to help our boys and our men to come home in one piece. So I talked to a homeroom teacher who suggested that I talk to the drafting teacher, who's called mechanical drawing teacher. I went down there and convinced him with all my heart and soul that I really wanted to learn drafting. And they put me through a wonderful course. I missed 4 classes, regular classes a day, and God bless the teachers that covered for me. And when I was ready, willing and able, they sent a letter and told the Navy Yard, and to my surprise and thrill, they accepted me. They took me through various courses along with other women at the time, and we learned how to weld hands-on, drilling, you name it, anything to do with the ship. We took the courses. When they thought I was ready, they put me into the Hull Division, HULL Division, the Navy Yard, where that particular department was retrofitting a cargo ship to be a troop carrier. I was the youngest person there. I was the baby. But the women were absolutely wonderful to me. They protected me from the wolves. They just kept an eye on them to make sure that I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing as a young lady. I had a lot of self-confidence. I think maybe a little bit too much. Some of the men tried teasing me by putting strange things in my work drawer. But let's see, one time they put a frog in there. When I opened up my drawer, there was this little frog. I learned something from my mother. You give people a glare that you freeze them from the bottom of their shoes to the top of their head. They won't bother you again. I didn't react. The next time they tried, they put 2 rubber boots in the drawer. Again, I still didn't react. So they stopped using me and realized that I was really there to work. They gave us a report every month. And I looked at one of my reports and it said, work done, fair. I went to one of the women, I said, what do you mean fair? If I did fair work, they would send it back to me. Why did they mark me fair? And the woman said, dear, don't worry. If they gave you a better grade, then they would have to give you a raise for being underpaid as it is. What a story. And it's the truth.
That's an amazing story. And we hear you well too. But next time you come on, we have to see that pretty face.
Yes, for
How
sure.
old is June Ann?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you,
How
Constable.
old is she?
95.
95,
Oh my goodness. And look
October.
how
Is-
fabulous she
Your
is.
birthday's October, is that right, June?
Pardon?
Your birthday's in October,
No, September.
September.
September the 20th, after Labor Day, I will be 96. I'm telling you, I'm
Wow.
for 120. My grandfather made it to either 103 or 105.
Well, I think you're just amazing. You always welcome. You one of our girls now, so make sure you come back again.
I'd like to tie this up just with a couple of minutes here, folks. Some
Yeah,
new things have happened this week, and we're very proud to say that it looks like we're going to have at least 5 new cities by Labor Day that will be model Rosie the Riveter cities.
Nice.
They're coming together very well. Today, very unexpectedly, we got the whole state of Utah behind
Really?
us. So they're going to look for the Rosies. They found 2 today that worked in a parachute factory, and I didn't even know it until yesterday.
Wow.
We will have at least 5 cities. One will be Youngstown, Ohio, Greensboro, North Carolina. We want Los Angeles to be one of those cities. Then the state of Utah. And Teresa, I'm very interested in any thoughts you have about Hawaii, because we also got a call yesterday and put her on a meeting with our board of a woman who wants to basically head up looking for Rosies in Hawaii and doing a project by September so that we can say that Hawaii is a model Rosie the Riveter state. So you may have some ideas and we'd love to hear them, okay?
You know what will be a good, just me and my creative thoughts here.
Yeah.
Having the Rosies be part of the Rose Parade,
Oh, that's interesting. When is the Rose Parade?
Every
It's
January.
January 1st, isn't it? Or
New
what?
Year's Day.
Rose, New Year's Day, yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
okay.
We're
Well, it's
gonna
pretty
get a
cool,
float.
but out there in California, we'll find some new ones. They're there. The issue is that they don't know to come forward.
Right.
Because of the word Rosie the River, or the phrase, they think they had to be riveters. They also think they had to work in factories. And of course, if they grew food, if they worked in shipyards, if they worked for the government, if they flew test planes, whatever, they broke codes. There's a possibility that we will be working out of Oklahoma with a couple of the Native American tribes there. We're working on that. So
You never know, maybe the Tournament of Roses would sponsor it since it's such a perfect tie-in.
I can see Rosie sitting on the float, riding by you on a 98, 95.
Yeah, I can too.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
hey guys, and so there, I read an article recently about a Rosie the Riveter here in California that just turned like 100 years old, and she worked for the park, the national park.
That's not, I think her name's Marie. Yes. I'm
So-
pretty sure. She worked for the, let me get it right now.
You just retired or something? Was that it?
Yeah, she just
Yeah.
retired from the parks.
Right. We have to get in touch with her some kind of way. That would be wonderful.
We'll
Maybe
do
go through Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Well, she worked for the National Forestry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Federal Bureau
Yeah,
of the
I
National
remember hearing
Forestry.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get Ann her information, like
I would
forward you
love
the
her information.
article.
That would be
They
great.
just did an article on her because that's what kind of caught my attention because she's 100 years old now.
Yeah.
Right,
But just
right,
a typical Rosie though. She fit the mold. I mean,
she had the
she's still,
uniform and everything on.
yeah.
Huh?
So
Yeah, I
that's the
remember that.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
We
One
gotta
of
great.
the
get her
things
the
that we
info.
do ask all groups to consider is that even though Los Angeles or even your group, frankly, I would like for this group to be the model Rosie the Riveter nonprofit.
Well, I thought we were.
Well, no, we haven't given you a prize. And a big
You didn't give us
celebration
a what?
big celebration on September 3rd for the kind of work you're doing right now, Consuela.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about that. We got
Yeah,
to
we're
move on,
gonna
but it's
do
a
that.
big project.
Yeah.
You know, we sponsor. We love the Rosies.
Labor Day is September the 5th this year.
Is it?
It's also Canadian Labor Day.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
I know they're, yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I know their Thanksgiving is different. Yeah.
Okay, you girls have to talk about that. We're running out of time now, but
Okay, all
that
right.
is so great. Good information.
Thank
So
you,
you-
Ann.
you just
Thank
keep
you so
listening.
much.
Thank you
And
much.
keep listening, June.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you, June.
Come
Take
back.
care, June.
You're so wonderful, so humorous, so informative. Okay, Taylor, you gonna
Hold on. Let me show that Rosie video real quick before we move on.
Roses, look,
Yes,
you all cute, Charles. You got to be on cute. You're the engineer. You got to be on cute.
I'm on cue.
I am Buddy Canute, a former Rosie the Riveter. I riveted P-40 pursuit planes during World War II. We did our part back then. Now, can you step up and help the Rosies pull America together again? Please call 304-776-4743. That is 304-776-4743.
We are so honored and so proud of you girls. You keep up the good work, and that Ann works day and night for the Rosies.
He does.
We love you so much and love all the Rosies.
You're
Give June our love.
Yeah, the only, I'm without real family, so you all are more important to me than you can imagine.
And you are important to us too. That's why we got to have you on as often as you want. You see, we keep bringing you because you have such good information and doing such wonderful work.
Well, it's happening because it should happen. It's not just that I've, laid a strategy that was, good thinking. It just was
Right.
time and very, very important. And we just happened to tap into something and then we knew how to direct it. And that's all.
Right. That is so great.
It was given to us. We didn't make it happen.
Okay, well, next week we'll be back or the week after for sure. Okay, Dr. Cash, take it. Taylor, can you introduce our girl, Dr. Cash?
Dr. Cash, U.S. Army veteran, is the CEO of Strategies for Hope, certified RAP facilitator, certified peer support specialist, vet-to-vet facilitator, and a Baptist minister currently living in the Southern California area. Her calling is one of service and passion to support others in becoming their best self. Through the sharing of her life experiences, she is able to encourage, support, and inspire others, especially women, on their personal roads to recovery. Upon developing her own wellness recovery action plan, she gained a powerful tool to help by her own best tools to help her be her own best self in the road of recovery. Sorry about that. Using RAP and the recovery concepts, Dr. Cash has facilitated veterans groups and faith-based groups as well as present various topics of wellness in conferences and workshops throughout the city. Take it away, Dr. Cash.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you don't mind, I'll open up with a word of prayer.
Thank you.
Amen. Shall we bow our heads? Heavenly Father, how we say thank you for this platform that we have to share information about our nation's heroes and sheroes. Lord, we thank you for those who have come, who've stepped forward in the name of service. And we just ask that you continue to bless the organization, bless the individuals, and bless all that are of concern at this time. We thank you and we praise you in your name. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
And great. Thank you.
Amen. So Martha was speaking about PTSD earlier, and I have something I'd like to share regarding PTSD and peer support. Many veterans do not know what peer support is. And peer support is a peer specialist is a person who has lived experience, either mental health, substance use. They have these experiences that they're sharing with the veteran that they're serving or whomever that they're serving, whatever population they're dealing with. So it's the lived experience that helps the person that supports the person to get through their situations. Oftentimes when we're in a situation, we think that we're the only one there. This has never happened to anybody else in life. I am the only one that this has happened to. But when you reach out and speak with a peer specialist, you find that you are not the only one. So this is a story. It's called A Soldier in a Hole. A soldier with PTSD fell into a hole and couldn't get out. When a senior non-commissioned officer walked by, the soldier called out for help. But the NCO yelled back, "Suck it up, son, dig deep and drive on," then threw him a shovel. The soldier did just as he was told and dug the hole deeper. A senior officer went by and the soldier called out for help again. The officer told him, "Use the tools your senior officer gave you," then threw him a bucket. The soldier used the tools and he dug the hole deeper and filled the bucket. A psychiatrist walked by. The soldier called out, "Help, I can't get out." So the psychiatrist gave him some drugs and said, "Take this. It will relieve the pain and you'll forget all about the hole." The soldier said thanks and followed his advice. But when the pills ran out, he was still in the hole. So a well-known psychologist came by and heard the soldier's cry for help. He stopped and asked, "How did you get there? Were you born there? Did your parents put you there? Tell me about yourself. It will alleviate your sense of loneliness." So the soldier talked with him for an hour. Then the psychologist had to leave, but he said he'd be back next week. The soldier thanked him, but he was still in the hole. Another soldier, just like him, happened to be passing by. The soldier in the hole with PTSD cried out, "Hey, help me, I'm stuck in the hole." And right away, the other soldier jumped down in there with him. The soldier with PTSD started to panic, said, "What are you doing? Now we're both stuck down here." But the other soldier just smiled and replied, "It's okay, calm down. I've been here before. I know how to get us out." So no matter what you're going through, you're never alone. And this is what peer support is all about. As I deal with formerly homeless veterans in the community and at the VA, I often get stories, "You don't understand what I'm going through. You don't know what I'm going through." But then when I share my story, when I talk about things that I've gone through, then it's like, oh, okay, then they begin to open up and we're able to have a conversation and I'm able to offer them support. One thing I always offer everyone is the Veterans Crisis Line phone number. And that number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. And that's the Veterans Crisis Line. You don't have to be suicidal to call that line. You could be lonely, you can be anxiety ridden, you can be depressed. There's someone on the other line, on the other end of the line who will talk to you. So we encourage all of our veterans, whether you're in the VA or in the community, if you need support, you can call the Veterans Crisis Line because they're there for the soldiers. They're there for those who have served, and they're there for family members because we're all about supporting our veterans.
Great.
So our strategies for hope, man, strategies for hope. I look at all different kinds of ways to bring hope into the life of a person. We're dealing with homelessness on the streets. And sometimes people just lose hope. They have no hope. They don't know that they can do whatever it is that they can do. They're just at a loss and don't know which way to turn. So when we talk to people who seem hopeless, again, we're sharing our stories, we're talking to them, and sometimes it's just sitting there in silence. I don't have to say anything. I don't have all the answers, but sometimes it just feels good to know that somebody cares enough about you to call or to sit with you and say nothing. If somebody's name runs across your mind, pick up the phone and call them. You may not know why you're calling them, but on the other end, your call may have saved their life. Your call may have uplifted them. Your call may have encouraged them. So we want to continue to live out the hope that we have in our lives and share it with others. Because we think that we have a tendency to think that, again, nobody's been through anything but me. This is a brand new, we've been on this world. People have been here on earth for thousands of years. And we think that when I have this problem, I'm the only one with this problem. And I can't talk to you because you wouldn't understand. Before anyone can see how much before you can tell anyone how much you care, they have to see that you care. And sometimes it's just a phone call. It's just a card. It's just saying, hello, how are you? It could be a cup of coffee. All of those things are pieces of hope that can lift up anybody. And maybe it may take 2 or 3 times to do that, where you think, well, I'm gonna go and see you and I'll be able to talk and everything will be good. It may not work that way. You may have to come 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times. And then the person that you're talking to will realize you do mean what you say. You do care about me. So we want to continue to instill hope into everyone that we encounter, because we don't know what kind of battles people are fighting within themselves. We don't know what they've gone through unless they share it with us. But even when they share it with us, some things are just so deeply buried that they don't come out. So I have one more story that I like to share. It's called Soldiers in the Battle. So in the midst of a vast forest, a battle was going on between 2 armies. One army was outnumbered in terms of the soldiers by the other army. The general of the small army decided to launch an attack as he was confident that they can win the battle. So he called his lieutenant and told him to get the soldiers ready for battle. The lieutenant called all the soldiers and informed them about the plan of attack on the enemy army. Soldiers were ready to battle, but they had doubt about themselves because they were outnumbered by the enemy army. The day for the battle came and the general knew about the doubts of the soldiers. So on their way to battle, general told all to stop and they stopped for prayer. After the prayer, the general stood up in front of the soldiers and he had a coin in his hand. And he said, I will toss this coin. If it's head, we win. If it falls on tails, then we will lose. So the general tossed the coin up and it landed on heads. The soldiers were happy and they were filled with confidence going into the battle. They went to the battle and executed their plan perfectly with a fearsome attack against the enemy soldiers. The enemy army was taken aback by the kind of attack from that small army, that little bitty army. They already knew that they were going to win, but that little army came and won the battle. So after the battle, the lieutenant told the general, as destiny showed us through the loss of the coin, we won the battle. So no one can change the destiny. The general smiled and showed the lieutenant the coin. The coin was a 2-headed coin. So the moral of the story is, hope is like the light at the end of a dark tunnel. If you believe in yourself, the light at the end, when you travel through that dark tunnel, you'll travel through with confidence. So believe in yourself and have hope, and that hope will lead to the positive results in your life.
That is so positive. Thank you so much. That was so great. You always so inspirational. Thank you.
You're
welcome.
I wanted to just, can I ask one question, or actually not ask a question, but I've spoken to Consuela multiple times, Dr. Cash, about a concept that you repeatedly talk about, and that's the vet to vet peer-to-peer counseling, right? Or the peer support.
Yes.
And during my time with the National Veterans Foundation, I can't say enough how for many men and women, and women in particular, the only reason they would speak to me is because I told them I was a veteran.
Yes.
And I had a chance to see firsthand just how important just that very small piece of information is, because unfortunately for many veterans that end up going into the VA, whether it's to look for resources or health programs, as soon as they encounter a non-veteran, and again, not everyone has a big heart like Consuela, who isn't a veteran. So it's
Right.
unfortunate, because that I see is what makes us unique, and that we have a host of veterans that come in every week, whether you're on the advisory board or you're a facilitator, or like you out in the community. So I really want to highlight and lift that up, because again, in my own personal experience as a veteran, I don't often want to share anything unless you're a veteran, because you don't understand. And for many who are still in the wings waiting for that right time to reach out for help, they don't do it unless they know that the person on the other line is a veteran. And so I just have to highlight that, because like I said, I've talked to Connie about this very important piece of information that we want to highlight as an organization in our efforts, because it really does make a world of difference for folks who still, so many more folks who have not come forward comfortably to get help because of that one missing piece of information. So I just want to commend you for that, because it speaks a lot about who you are and the work that you do, but also to highlight how important it is for us as a larger group to continue reaching out to those veterans, because there's so many more who still have not got that courage or the hope to look out. So
that is so wonderful. Well, she's on our team, thank goodness, and we're going to all come together and make it a big movement. Thank you so much.
Yesterday, really quick, yesterday I was speaking with a veteran, and another gentleman walked up. They both had on veteran caps, Army veteran, a world Vietnam veteran. So they had on their caps. I didn't have on anything that said I was a veteran. So the guy who walked up, he's talking like really sketchy, like almost in code to the other veteran who was sitting down. And then as he continued to talk, and I said something that made him think, wait a minute, well, how do you know about that? I said, well, I'm an Army veteran. And then the conversation just flowed. So yes, people want to talk to another veteran. And again, it's not everyone who has not served, you can't throw them all into the pot and say they don't understand. But that's the first thing that the veteran will say, I don't think you understand.
Well, so some of us do.
Yeah. and there's a level of understanding. So I enjoy what I do, and I'm going to continue to do it in the community and at work, and also through Strategies for Hope. And so you can reach me at info@strategiesforhope.com. And that's strategies, the number 4, hope.
Right. Okay. And we have it on our website as well. Thank you so much. We're going to turn the script around a little bit, because poor Teresa there with the baby. We have to let her come on immediately. So Charles, introduce Elmer, and Elmer's going to introduce Teresa.
All right. This is Elmer Jacobs. I'm not going to read his full bio. I'll just tell you, Elmer's the president of the PVA California chapter, which is here in Long Beach. He's a Marine veteran, and Elmer likes to help veterans. And today, his guest she's also a director on the board here in Long Beach. Her name is Teresa Gasper. And so Teresa served honorably as a cryptologist in the United States Navy and as a combat medic in the California Army National Guard. She served her country for over 9 years. She worked as a peer support specialist for Volunteers of America and a veteran navigator for Goodwill until her spinal cord injury on February 12, 2016. She currently serves, like I say, as a director on the board and here in Long Beach, and she just enjoys working in the nonprofit sector. Teresa looks toward helping her fellow brothers and sisters enjoy and experience life after a spinal cord injury. Go ahead, Elmer. Take it over, man.
Thank you, Charles. Wow, great guest on here, guys. Man, I just sucking it up. All this good information you guys are passing on. Thank you all for your contribute to this great organization. Like Charles said, I'm the president, but man, I'm so excited to have Teresa Gaspar here with me today. She's one of our board of directors on our chapter, and she brings to the table a lot of good resources. So I'm going to hand it right over to Teresa so that she can get this thing going.
Hi, thank you, Elmer. Yes, very much informative. I've met Dr. Cash before at a numerous of Sergeant's Resource Center's event for female veterans.
Oh.
And I'm sure I came across others, but thank you, Consuelo, for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Now for PVA, I actually was not a board member. I was in Long Beach VA movement only from the neck up. I couldn't move anything else. But since I was still, I'm still navigating, still advocating for my fellow veterans, I had a line of wheelchairs outside of my room, basically getting them, like a battle buddy. We find out who can help them, who can get their claim started. That's the same thing I do for PVA CC out of Long Beach. I'm actually a government relations director, and we advocate on Capitol Hill every year for not only paralyzed veterans, but for any disabled man or female. We do a lot for the community outside, not even having to be a veteran, but we also resource as far as member support. We have a member support committee, which makes sure that our veterans have food. If we don't have food, if we cannot supply it, we reach out to our other nonprofit organizations to make sure that the veteran eats. Also, in any other way, for our PVA members, we get grant money every year to go ahead and experience life, like Charles said. My first event was flying to Washington, D.C., advocating on Capitol Hill. That's the first time I ever flew in a wheelchair. If it wasn't for PVA CC, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Along with that, there's just so many. I'm honored to be on the Anita Bloom committee. I don't know if everybody knows who Anita Bloom Ornoff was, but she was the first PVA female soldier. She actually was in the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. So she was attacked. She got a paper cut. She didn't realize what happened, paid it no mind, actually ended up becoming septic. And that was our first female PVA member. She published her book, which I have right here, in her 80s. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
I don't think you guys could see it.
Hold it still. Hold it still close to the camera. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyond dancing.
Okay. She, Beyond Dancing, yes. She had it published because she fought for 8 years with the VA to acknowledge her as a veteran. If you weren't married to a veteran, there's no way you're a female, you can be a veteran. So now on her committee, I'm on the committee for that. We reach out to other female veterans that attend the VA. If there's something not accommodating to you, like there's not ADA, for instance, when we go to, I'm in a wheelchair, I've been since 2016. I go to my VA appointments and I'm in the way. I'm moving one side to the other side to the other side. When actually I spoke to our national PVACC, our national Washington, D.C. office, and asked, maybe we can put just like the handicap parking outside, maybe we can do that for wheelchairs. So when we go, there's actually a space for us. We're not waiting by the door. We're not waiting by the restroom. We actually are waiting. Just like focusing, the Needle Bloom has actually opened the door for us female veterans to make sure that, it's private. We are treated exactly like soldiers, but with acknowledging us as veterans. So we, along with Elmer, actually this book on Amazon that I was telling you guys about, Anita Bloom, it's a veteran struggle, a woman's triumph. PVA CC actually bought it for me used, and it's because we have a library. So I'm reading it, and when I'm done with it, it will go back to our office in Long Beach, and somebody else can read it. It's whatever needs to be done. I'm going to speak on what qualifies you as a member, but anything that needs to be done or you guys need a resource, please don't hesitate to contact us or myself. Our cell phone numbers are on our business cards. I'm available 24/7, 7 days a week. And
Can you give out your contact information?
Oh, sure. It's my cell phone is 626-464-7746. And my email is teresa@pvacc.org.
All right. Is the baby asleep now?
Oh, you kidding me? No way.
You got to introduce the baby.
Look at the baby.
And the baby's only a year old. Look at that big
Wow,
baby.
big baby.
Turn it around because the white, there you go. There. Hi, fella. How cute. He's fading in and out. Now we kind of got it in there. I guess because he has a white shirt on. He's so cute. Thank you so much, Teresa. Great information.
Thank you.
Always, Elmer, you always got some good information. You got anything to tell us? Go ahead.
Something very odd happened this afternoon, that somebody called me and they want me to work with the United Nations with an idea for how to unify women across the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
My suggestion was, without thinking, that we need to get women across the world to share lullabies. Do you sing to your baby? Do you sing lullabies to your baby?
That's her grandbaby. Yes,
yes, it's my grandbaby, and yes, I do. Yes, I do. I even did the old basic training, military
I
one.
want you on my team to let's get the United Nations to do a project soon, where women of the world show the lullabies that they're singing to their children, because that's what the human family is all about.
That's what they need too.
Just because a
young and old.
Just because a baby grows up and doesn't remember being sung to doesn't mean it wasn't important.
Right.
What
happened to you? What happened to your picture, Ann? Can't see you no more.
Actually, my video is doing weird things. It's trying to put me into background.
Yeah, we did see that.
Oh, that, yeah, so.
No, it is weird. Yeah, I got you.
It's weird.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And Teresa, you one of us now. You got to come back, girlfriend.
Let me play the PVA video while
anytime. Thank you so much.
Good job, Teresa.
Thank you,
Elmer. Jacob, Elmer.
Yes.
My family name is Jacob, so I want you to know you're my third cousin, Rice.
All right now.
All right.
Elmer.
Definitely.
That's cute.
My mother, who was a Rosie, her name was Jessie Jacobs.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Family tree.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna share this real quick, and then we're gonna move on.
Right.
And by the way,
Long Beach, PVA, California, chapter USA. The city by the waterfront, where the veterans work and play.
chapter USA. The city by the waterfront, where the veterans work and play.
Okay, thank you.
That's amazing, Charles.
You haven't seen that video?
No, I haven't. I just heard the
What?
song.
Yeah, that's just pictures that we got to put some new pictures in there, and but yes.
Yeah, that's my ringtone.
Wow, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we move right along. And as I said, Teresa, you one of us girls, so I want you back, okay?
All right.
Most definitely. I would be an honor.
Oh,
I
thank
would be an
you.
honor. Anytime.
All right. Okay, so move right along, Taylor, and then we're gonna start winding down.
So
Where's
as a
my
wheelchair,
Okay, there you go.
as a wheelchair user, I would like to share about another extraordinary woman who too uses a wheelchair. Stella Young took over the media trying to normalize disability. She wrote articles, edited an online magazine, had her own comedy show, and hosted Australia's first disability culture TV show. She even did a TED Talk in 2014 called I'm Not Your Inspiration. Thank you very much. With her TED Talk, she opened millions of people's eyes and introduced the concept of inspiration porn. It's when people see others with disabilities as living, breathing, feel good memes. And as weird as it sounds, it's not uncommon for someone with a disability to be told they're an inspiration while doing their daily routine. Stella Young took over the media trying to normalize disability. Um, with her TED Talk, she opened millions of people's eyes. Again, that, people living, so we're going to skip that. Another great woman who has changed the world for the better is Dr. Maya Angelou. You may know her name, but what you probably didn't know is that she grew up with a disability. That's right. Dr. Maya Angelou, the author of all of your favorite poems, had a hidden disability. When she was a child, she was abused and sexually assaulted by her mother's boyfriend. When she told someone about it, he was convicted, released, and found dead. The trauma of being raped and thinking she caused her abuser's death after she spoke up caused her to develop selective mutism, an anxiety disorder that causes a child to barely speak in certain situations. For Dr. Angelou, this meant being completely silent for 5 years. She was one of the most influential Black women in history and turned her struggles into powerful life lessons. We, the world, can't thank you enough, Dr. Angelou, for her contribution to the world. She has impacted the lives of women with disabilities that they too can be included to help change the world for the better. I now have shared that no matter what obstacles life may throw at me or at you, we can't give up. These women fought for the life they wanted and won. Now, let's all follow their examples and make our marks on the world. Charles, would you please show Dr. Angelou and Stella Smith? And Stella actually has osteogenesis imperfecta, which is the same bone condition that I have.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There's Dr. Angela. Great. Great information, Taylor, as always. Thank you so much. Okay. Moving right along. Thank you. Okay, as we winding down now, I want to say it's on you, Martha Taylor, to wind us on down. And I want to thank our wonderful, wonderful guests for coming on and our co-host for today.
Okay. I would like to remind our listeners and viewers about our amazing advertisement rates. We have 20 and 30-second advertisement slots available. Please email info@operationconfidence.org for more information and visit Operation Confidence's website at www.operationconfidence.org. www.operationconfidence.org resource page for some amazing resources. I would also like to inform our viewers and listeners about Amazon's Now. When making your next purchase on Amazon, please go to Amazon's Now and type in Operation Confidence in the Choose Your Organization donation box. Amazon will make a small donation to Operation Confidence. Also, to get involved in Operation Confidence Tiny Houses project, visit our website and send us a message on how you would like to be involved.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yes, to our viewers, we'd also like to inform you about Operation Confidence's Positive Redirection Team, a group of male and female veterans who are mentors having overcome similar challenges and situations transitioning back to mainstream society. To be connected or become a team member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. When we're also excited to inform our listeners about Operation Confidence's Combat Boots and Lace women veterans mentoring and creative arts group. For more information or to get involved, please email info@operationconfidence.org. And as we heard Taylor mention, as we're moving closer towards the or moving along, I should say, in our tiny homes project, these two groups are really going to take just such an important role as we get more veterans, males and females involved to sort of help get this project kind of off the ground. And we're looking at things like arts programs, we're looking at having mentoring, and particularly a support group for women. So Dr. Cash, I know that you always bring on such a group of powerhouse female veterans, in particular, some of the ones we've seen over the last couple of weeks. So I definitely would like to reach out to you to get some input and information from you about how we can get both of these programs up and off the ground.
Definitely.
Yeah, we reached out with Dr. Cash a while back, sharing what we're doing, and we're excited to have her on board. So thanks a lot, Martha, for bringing that up once again. So as we close out, we want to remind our listeners and viewers that our goal for the show is to raise awareness about Operation Confidence's mission, which is to provide stable housing with a wide range of supportive services, including employment opportunities for veterans, especially those with disabilities and who have experienced homelessness. So to get involved with our grassroots efforts, please send us an email to info@operationconfidence.org and visit our website at operationconfidence.org. So I'm sorry, our website is org and our info is .com. So anyway, we want to also please subscribe to our Operation Confidence American Invisible Heroes YouTube channel. We need all the subscribers we can get. So as we close out, we want to thank our guests and our co-hosts for another amazing show, great information, and we're going to turn it over to Charles.
All right. This is the end. This is where we say things. It's a good day. We had a great show, and the Rams won too, just so you know.
Okay. All right. Give our closing music. Thank you.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now. See you next time.
You.
See
Thank you,
next
everyone.
time. Bye-bye.
Please send me an email.
We'll
Who
do.
was that?